Tom Cooper. He is one of the world's leading military historians. He is a combat and aviation expert. Mr. Cooper, thank you for speaking to me. It's always a pleasure to speak with you. I want to ask you, is the US buildup indicative of an imminent war with Iran, or is this posturing, possibly to exert leverage so that the Iranians come to the negotiating table and thrash out a nuclear deal?
Hello, thank you for the invitation and nice to be with you. As for what it is about, it is certainly posturing in order to force Tehran in any kind of concessions. Alternatively, to prepare for a strike, for an aerial campaign against Iran with the aim either of toppling the regime or killing the regime or most of it and disabling the country's capabilities to strike back, especially upon Israel, but also upon US bases in the area.
So I want to ask you, what would be the aim if the United States was to actually go in? Now, there are many scenarios. What is the basic aim here? Is regime change even possible through violent means in Iran?
Well, regime change is possible, but through a longer war, like we have seen in Syria, for example, took 14 years almost until the Assad regime was toppled. Therefore, just airstrikes and missile strikes, as the USA and Israel are planning, are not going to be sufficient for this. On the other hand, what Israel is trying to do is de facto to disarm Iran, so that Iran has no capability to strike back upon Israel, because Israeli primary aim is to disarm any kind of opposition in the Middle East, to establish itself in position of absolute dominance over everybody else. This is an aim which is older than the state of Israel. It was openly stated to US intelligence officers by Zionist leaders as early as of January, February 1948. So they are planning to disarm Iran in order to be able to fly and to strike whomever they want to strike, wherever they want to strike. They are already announcing publicly that after Iran, Turkey is the next. There is a corresponding PR campaign in the United States going on. They are explaining that Turkey is acting anti-American, that it is does not care about its NATO obligations, both of which is lie. That Turkey is supporting Islamist subversion of the United States. So this campaign is much more comprehensive than it might catch the eye at first. And there is definitely a will of both the US administration and the Israeli administration to improve their standing in the local populations in Israel and the United States, pending the coming elections over there.
So, Mr. Cooper, let me ask you
Therefore, we can expect them to go in a particularly violent fashion and to try forcing Iran into some kind of concessions with the aim of boasting about this one way or the other, either through negotiations or through successful conclusion of negotiations or through airstrikes.
Okay, so let me ask you, even if the Americans achieve their target of disabling Iran, can they launch a ground invasion of Iran at any time? Is there even space for that?
There are no troops for that. As far as I'm informed, the United States simply do not have the troops to launch a ground invasion of Iran. And even if that would take months to complete, and then probably years to catch all the members of the regime that matter. Because contrary to Iraq of 2002, 2003, Iran is not depending, or the IGC regime in Iran is not depending on a single person, but these are interest groups at several places in Iran controlling all the possible segments of the Iranian economy. plus society, plus armed forces. Therefore, it's an entirely different situation. Foremost, IGC system is well geared to defend itself against precisely such an invasion. And we have seen, even when there is a massive popular unrest and de facto popular uprising like there was in January, mid-January, the IG system is still surviving. It's successful, as macabre as it is, in killing. It doesn't mind mass murdering thousands of people, of Iranians, even bringing in Iraqi Shia and allies from abroad, elsewhere from abroad, to mass murder Iranians. So this regime is determined to survive no matter what, and toppling it is going to be extremely complex. We have seen also in June last year, when Israel has attempted to target precisely this regime, its top brass from the military side and also political leadership, plus nuclear scientists and so on. They have killed so many, and they didn't manage to bring down this regime. Why? Because, again, the IGC regime is very well prepared for precisely such an eventuality, and has reacted by replacing all the responsible commanders, for example, in a matter of 20 to 180 minutes after the opening Israeli strikes, which means they are quickly recovering from whatever blows they receive, and the chain of command remains intact, communications remain intact, and therefore they remain in control. Therefore, bringing down such a regime is extremely hard.